I've been waiting for you.
Kaiba's motivation throughout the whole series relied on one person, and that was Atem. Even with Atem going on to the afterlife and his story wrapping up, plus Yugi and Ko being content with it, Kaiba wasn't. His story was still going on, and that's very evident in Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side Dimensions. So hello everyone, it's a BYG Agami back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Seto Kaiba's motivation in this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie that dropped on the 27th of January. It's very arguable that we can say that Kaiba's the MVP or the main character of this movie. In DSOD, Kaiba never saw the ceremonial battle and never got to see Atem lose to Yugi. In addition to that, the pharaoh departing to the afterlife. In the intro of the movie, it's made very clear that Kaiba is looking for the Millennium Puzzle so the pharaoh can be resurrected, so Seto can finally have that duel with him. During the intro of the film, they show a scene of Kaiba looking at the Millennium Puzzle in a case of some sort, and to clear things up, that's most likely a hologram of the puzzle because the next scene is of an excavation team digging up the lost remains of the puzzle. And this is very early on in the movie, establishing that Kaiba wants to revive Atem. In addition to that, the trailers also showcase this, but is Kaiba's motivation more than just a duel? The fact that he spent 6 months planning his schemes, building this enormous space station, and finally, the most shocking thing, bringing back someone from the dead? Well, the answer is yes. It's more than just a duel. The English dub plays it off as a duel, and that's very understandable since they're following the English dub and the English anime. I personally believe it's better than rather doing something that's not showcased in the anime. The original version puts this in the manga verse rather than the anime verse, so I'm going to be talking about Kaiba's motivation in both dubs. But let's begin on with the dub that most of us like more, and that's the English dub, since it's more simplistic than the Japanese version. Kaiba's motivation is that he wants to duel the pharaoh to prove that he's the better duelist. Also, during the Kaiba vs hologram Yami Yugi duel, Kaiba has his monologue where the pharaoh inflicted scars of defeat on him and says that with beating this hologram it will lessen the scars. Kaiba, after the duel, says that he isn't content with this victory because he wants to defeat the real pharaoh, and most likely all of Kaiba's actions in this movie are towards the pharaoh. For example, one of the reasons he's hosting a tournament is because of Aigami and Yugi. Each of them have a separate piece of the Millennium Puzzle, and Kaiba wants them. Also in Transcend Game Part 2, which is a prologue from the movie, and it takes 6 months after the ending of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, Kaiba was basically going to pass his conscience onto another realm in order to see Atem, and this was before the movie, and Kaiba failed in that. Mokuba stops the machine because Kaiba was nearly about to die. And there are specific lines in this movie stating that Kaiba is doing certain things for Atem. For example, when Yugi is looking for Bakura, he bumps into Kaiba and he asks him, "Why are you doing this?" Kaiba's like, "I want to duel him to show him I'm the greatest." The funny moment is that during that scene, Kaiba says to Yugi, "I know you want to see him as well." It's funny, but it's serious at the same time. The funny thing is it's very true. The next real highlight that shows that Kaiba wants to revive Atem and duel him is during the Yugi and Kaiba duel. Yugi shows, and I mean shows Kaiba that Atem cannot be returned, and Seto totally dismisses that and says, "You lie, that Atem's hiding because he's scared." And let's talk about the ending of the film. Kaiba goes into the afterlife because he knows that Atem cannot return anymore, since he took the puzzle with him after defeating Cubic Diva. The fact is that in this movie that Kaiba has one main motivation and a minor motivation. You guys already know the main motivation, and the other one is that he wants to promote his new duel disc that he worked 6 months on. Let's now transition into the Japanese version. Kaiba's motivation and reasoning in this story is very complex, and to be completely honest with you guys, I truly don't understand the whole concept as well, but I do understand most of it. But Kaiba of course wants a duel with the pharaoh like he does in the English dub, but it's more than just that. Kaiba's and Atem relationship can be described as an everlasting rivalry, as in the subversion we can say that Kaiba wants to see Atem, because before Atem came into Kaiba's life and made it interesting, it was Gorzabru that was his everlasting rival, but he committed suicide and Yami was next in line to take that spot for Kaiba. Kaiba, even though he doesn't show it, we can say that he considers Yugi and Ko his friends. When he talks shit about Joey or Junochi, of course it's for his amusement, but at the same time it's like joking around with a friend. And also Kaiba needs a challenge in his life to make it more interesting. Seto spent millions of yen early on in the manga to basically kill Yugi in a arc called Det T. Det T is basically Kaiba land, and each stages are basically stages of death. And this was basically meant to kill or defeat Yugi. Kaiba has millions of dollars, even probably billions of dollars. He could have honestly just paid a hitman to kill Yugi, but the fact is he wanted to kill Yugi in a grand fashion. And the fact is that Det T was before their relationship truly formed. This was just a hint towards the relationship aspect, but the backstory wasn't there. So this is Kaiba's motivation explained. Leave a like, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and also my friend Dimsy and I created a Facebook and Twitter fan page regarding the 6th Yu-Gi-Oh news, where we will post news, reviews, leaks, etc. about the 6th series. Just check the description down below. Thank you and have a great day.